my beautiful viewers. My name is Chantel Grant, and I will be interviewing Susan about her language and why it is so important to her. Let's get started. So what language do you speak besides English?
I speak Creole and Timni.
Oh, cool. Why is it so important that you attain your native language?
I think it's important because diversity, it opens me up to a broader range of things. It makes it easier for me to communicate with different people, and I don't know, I feel like some jobs even pay you more if you speak a different language.
Yeah. How does speaking your native language connect you to your past?
I would say it connects me to my past in that my family speak it also. If I was to go somewhere that had many people like me from my country or my tribe, we can communicate with each other. Some elderly people don't know how to speak English, they only know how to speak our native tongue, so it would be easier for me to communicate with them. You know, elderly people are wiser and they can tell me more since they can't speak English, so yeah.
Why do you think it is so important to have children learn your native language?
I think it's important. This might be a selfish reason, so that I can communicate with them without anybody else knowing what I'm saying. Like if you're out in public with your child and they're misbehaving or something, if you want to say something maybe not so nice, you can say it in your own language. And it's easier too because when they grow up, it's easier for them to stay in their culture and to love their culture. Some kids, when they don't know the language, they feel kind of ashamed and they shy away from their culture. So yeah, and it's easier to communicate with people in your culture and make friends.
What do you think this world would be like if we all spoke the same native language?
It would be boring. It would be so boring because there's nothing interesting, there's nothing unique, there's nothing new. You can't say, oh, I want to learn French today, I want to learn Spanish tomorrow. You all know the same thing. There's no diversity, there's no different culture, and that would be so boring.
No, it sure would. I would be like, I already know what you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, other things.
It's fun. It's fun, like speaking to somebody in your language and nobody else knows what you guys are talking about. It's mean sometimes, but it's fun.
Yeah. Why do you think it is important that we speak different languages?
I think it's important because it makes the world a more diverse place, and it makes it a more interesting place to live in. If everybody spoke a different language, you have something to offer different in a group or a community. You have more opportunities in different places. Like me, if I travel to a different country, I can now teach English if I want because I've came here and I've learned English, or I can teach my language to other people because I also know my language as well. So.
Where is your family originally from?
We're from Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Cool.
Yeah, my father's from Ivory Coast, but he grew up in Sierra Leone, so that's where Sierra Leonean.
Did any other family members speak of any other languages than their native language?
My dad speaks French, and my mom speaks Guinea, and she speaks Fulani. She speaks a lot of different languages because she traveled a lot to different African countries. And the languages are divided by tribes. So if you go to a different area in Sierra Leone, they speak another type of language. So she's learned a lot of different languages that I can't even come close to knowing.
So what language would you be interested in learning?
I want to better my French because my dad speaks fluent French and I speak kind of broken French, and I want to learn Spanish. I really like Spanish language, and I want to go to South America one day, so.
Oh wait, I already asked. Why would you be interested in learning that particular language?
Spanish, I feel like, is second to English in popularity, And if you know Spanish, there's more opportunities out there for you. If you go to hospitals, you see most signs are in English and Spanish. If you go to some restaurants or some, high-end places, it's English and Spanish because they specialize in diversity. So if I was to learn Spanish, it would broaden my knowledge of a lot of things and it would make me more open for more opportunities.
What is the best part of having the ability to speak another language?
Talking to somebody else who speaks my language without other people knowing what we're saying, and just the fact that it's different. I can say I speak another language. I can say I'm from a different place. Just like somebody who came from Europe can say the same thing. It's just, I don't know, I like it. It's different.
How hard was it to learn a new language?
English? I don't remember it too much actually. It just kind of happened. I think watching TV and my teachers really did help, but I was so young when I learned English, I didn't really notice the struggles I was going through to learn it. I just kind of adopted it.
How important is language to you?
I think language is very important. Language kind of defines a culture, and it's the reason why people are different, I guess, because I'm West African, but if somebody else that's from Liberia or Ghana or Nigeria, they're West African too. But the thing that separates us is the fact that we're from different countries and we speak different languages. So, just diversity.
Would you be willing to teach your language to people? If so, what would the reason be?
I would be willing to teach some certain people my language, like my close friends. Like if I want to talk to them about something and I don't want to say it in English, I would love to say it in my language so they would know and nobody else would. Or my partner, significant other, it'll be easier, I guess, if we use the same language.
Why do you think language is such a big part of life?
I think language is a big part of life because communication is important in everything that we do. And if you don't have good communication, then it's going to be very hard for you to be successful. And so learning how to properly, use your language or how to properly use somebody else's language is important because it's the gateway to doing everything.
Yep. How important do you think it is for children to learn their native language?
I think it's very important because it keeps the culture going. If I have children and they don't know my language, they can say, oh yeah, my mom's Sierra Leone or something, but they can't relate to it in any way because they can't speak the language. If I take them around, our people, they wouldn't be able to communicate. They would feel left out because they wouldn't be able to understand either. So it's just a good way to pass on a culture and pass on knowledge.
Lastly, why do you think diversity is so important in languages?
I think diversity is important in languages because it makes the world a more interesting place. It makes traveling more interesting. It makes it gives you something to want to learn, I think is the right way to put it. It makes if I want to go to South America, I can say, oh my gosh, let me learn Spanish, it just...
Oh, well thank you Susan for joining me and thank you so much for watching this interview. Bye everyone.